And through the drifts the snowy cliffs did send a dismal sheen, nor shapes of men nor beasts we ken, the ice was all between.
So let's talk about NP, non-polynomial time. Non-polynomial time is the time it takes for a problem to be solved, like multiplying two numbers together, or the famous traveling salesman problem where the traveling salesman has to go to, say, 100 cities and wants to know the minimum distance he has to walk in order to get to each of those 100 cities in the least possible amount of time. If it's something that's takes a very long time for a computer to do and maybe even be impossible, it's called NPhard. So let's talk about the NPness of Magic the Gathering. NP If you're not a math minor, you're giggling right now. If you are a math minor, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Or maybe you are still giggling. So Magic the Gathering has NP hardness. And so let's talk about its NPness. Magic the Gathering relies on life advantage, board advantage, card advantage, mana advantage in order to win the game. And it's not clear which one of those is needed to win the game. There's no ultimate card in Magic the Gathering. All the cards are relatively balanced. In the old days of Magic the Gathering, as Richard Garfield intended, he threw in like Time Walk and Moxes. Richard Garfield intended for you to start with a starter deck and boost your deck with a booster packs. Once Magic the Gathering realized players wanted to buy entire boxes, they fixed that very quickly, and starting with Revised, all these super overpowered Moxes, the Power 9 was not reprinted ever, and still has not been reprinted since. So what makes Magic the Gathering so great? A lot of other card games say Magic the Gathering lacks a consistent fun aspect because there are lands. You have to fill your deck with about a third or more, usually basic lands, which cost like a penny. It makes your deck very cheap if you use basic lands. But it's sort of like an anti-version of pay to win. You're using actually the cheapest cards in Magic the Gathering for a third of your deck. It actually lowers the value of your deck. And also it creates some chance aspect. It also creates some way of where if you have tons of very expensive cards in your deck, you could just draw your 20 lands and lose the game. And every single other card game I know of has used Magic the Gathering's use of lands as an excuse to build a quote-unquote better game. Redakai, Magi-Nation, all those games, every game I've ever played has used that excuse. What's interesting with Magi-Nation is I actually saw the Magi-Nation World Champion. The Wisconsin Gaming Club showed up at Gen Con about 4 years after Magi-Nation had died. The World Champion showed up with his Narum deck. He filled his deck full of promotional cards that cost 25 Animite each. Animite is like Kool-Aid points, if you remember those. You look at the packaging of your booster pack, and on the back there's one Animite, and you could cut them out with scissors and then mail them in. The address was on the internet, and if you had 25 of them, you would get a promo card. So like more than half of a booster box, you can get a promo card that way. I played 3 rounds. When the World Champion was playing at Gen Con, I was playing in a side tournament with people who were too afraid to go to the World Championship, and I made like 2-1. And I got a promo card for just not conceding each round, so I got 3 promo cards, 75 Animite. Woohoo! Like it was a start. So this guy had thousands of Animite. They made a game where it was possible to pay to win. There were cards that were just ultra rare. They made overpowered promo cards. And if you just had all of them, you could build any deck you wanted, and you would just beat the other player. And it felt like there was no ceiling to this. So let me illustrate to you a game that I got called Redakai. And Redakai is important to me because Shopko recently declared bankruptcy. And buying Shopko cards, Redakai was a card game from 2011. There was a TV show for it. There was one expansion for it. The base set was called Redakai Conqueror of the Kairu. The expansion set was Redakai Meta-Charged. There weren't that many Meta-Charged cards printed that I could see. Just looking up on eBay, it seemed impossible just to find a booster box of Meta-Charged. It seemed to be all like starter 10s or just single loose packs that people had around. So it was a very short-lived game, and so it was just 2011. Had one world championship. I don't know this for sure, but I was reading this on the internet. The World Championship Finals was ruined because of a rules question in the finals that actually like favored one person to win the game, depending on what the judges said. And the thing with the gold cards is it's kind of like Magic the Gathering's Mythics. You're only supposed to have a gold rare in one every couple of packs. One in every pack, there's a rare. So let me show you exactly how many cards I got from Shopko and some other places. So we have here a box of 1,000, and it's a box. If you can read these are rares. The silver holofoils. So silver holofoils are rares. They're just like one in each pack. And we just have just stacks and stacks. So it's hundreds of packs of cards. This is my mass box opening of Redakai. If you guys want to know what a gold rare looks like, so these are gold rares. Sort of gold holofoil. And Redakai cards are kind of cool because they're lenticular, which means have like millions or thousands of tiny triangles on the surface of the card, like microscopic, where if you bend the card, it shows an animation. I love lenticular things ever since I was a child. Body Toss does not really count because it is a gold pack exclusive. So Redakai gave people two kinds of packs. There was a packs you could see in like Shopko, like the normal stores, where it had one rare in each pack, and then they had gold packs where you had like a small cycle of rares, and you get two rares in the pack, with the second rare, it was just a very small number of cards. So here's gold rare black holes. You see a little animation here. Gold rares, and so Body Toss and Black Core doesn't count. That's just something to make you at the beginning. So how many gold packs I got from eBay? I got 2 cases, so 36 packs in a box, 216 packs in a case, so 432 packs. I bought from eBay. So this is kind of like a mass opening of 2 cases of eBay. I put some of these gold cards in my index, so I'll just show you exactly how many cards you get from opening up 2 cases, plus some starters, plus some tins. First, I'm going to show you like exactly how Redakai was pay to win. So let me show you my desktop. So here's my desktop. So the mic's still working. Great. Here's some Redakai action figures that they sold. These are like about half a foot, I want to say. And there's 2 large action figures, I would say about a foot tall each. So these were like $20, and these were more like KB Toys before it declared bankruptcy kind of size toys. Each toy came with a card. This is just the color of the toy, not the card. Each toy came with a card, and the card is either red, green, or blue, one of the 3 colors of Redakai, or it could be colorless in the case of a creature. And then it can either hit the top, the mid, or the bottom. You'd have to know the rules of Redakai. But anyway, you would get one of these cards with an action figure. So if you wanted a playset in Redakai, it's 3 cards. You would need to buy 3 of one action figure. if you wanted to play with those cards. And if you look at some of them, let's say Chemister, if this hits and it's not your first attack, draw 3 cards. Like, who doesn't like drawing cards? Like, this is just enormously powerful. If you know Redakai, you would know Magnox's card. It's 3 mana. Its chance to hit is 750. This is not power level. This is just like chance to hit. But the chance to hit's very high. 750 is very high for the game of Redakai. And for 3 mana, this is just stupid. This is obviously like the best. Imagine like if Magic the Gathering had like a lightning bolt that also said this was uncounterable. That would be Tractor Blast. Yeah. Yeah. So I actually owned all of these. Let me show you. Let me show you the number of like action figures I got. So here's Neural Blast. So the cards you can see. Let me go back to desktop just one quickly. So Metanoid had Blaze of Glory, Bruticon Antimatter Sword, Warnet had Bluid, Magnox had Tractor Blast, Silverback's Chakra Punch, Frostux had Phoenix Rising, Harrier had Sniper Sight, Scracknoz had Leech Slap, Metanoid had Plasma Sword, Chemister had Star Smash, Gold Metanoid has Plasma Hands, Gold Bruticon's Anti-Matter Saw, Spiker Neural Blast, Tri-Squad had Tri-Squad Red Machine. You could also buy pre-constructed decks. Inside the Stacks decks, you could have a Metanoid. You would only get 1 Metanoid. You'd have to buy 3 of the exact same pre-constructed deck to get a playset. Battlecore had Dredger, Imperia's deck had Night Asp, and Redacore had Silence Wind Elemental. Alright, let me go back to webcam. Alright, so here's the Neural Blast. Once again, from Spiker, the Silver Spiker. Here's Metanoid. This is pretty cool. He's like an X-Drive machine. Here's Night Asp. These are my Armorites. These are where I got my deck cases from. Their white deck cases had Armorites in them. I got actually 10 cases. Here's my Dredgers. Dredger Green Machines from the Battlecore deck. We got some Sionuses, Wind Elementals from the Radicore deck. We got some Tractor Blast from Magnox. We got Blaze of Glory from Metanoid action figure. And that's just like what's loose. So like this entire stack of cards, this is like how many action figures or pre-constructed decks that I bought. And they're not even the ones that are in decks, okay? So we went through a bazillion black holes. We went through a bazillion. So here's the gold rares. We have Scracknoz. Whee! Silverbacks. Punch. We got some gold dredgers. Got gold Bruticon. Frostog. Do you see the sheer number of gold rares? You will see how many gold rares there are in a minute. These are just ones that are just not in decks. Granite. Here's some gold spikers. Here's some gold Metanoids. You see that this one's, there's actually like different kinds. There's for some reason there's a gold holofoil gold Metanoid, and there's silver holofoil gold Metanoids. I think these ones are from like toy fairs, like pre-alpha. We have a gold Fractus. Some gold Magnox. Punch. Got 2 of them. Here's some dynamic lunge. For these, the animation isn't so great. I'm just going to go quickly through them because you guys, your time's important. Here's some 2-handed smashes. We got 3 of these. Here's got remote controls. None of them I actually fit in my deck. I have 8 gold remote controls. Here's Shadow Smash. Shadow Smash is part of like a trio of there's like one really overpowered card in each color. Green's is Shadow Smash. Take another turn after this one, plus it deals damage. It's like if you had a Time Walk and a Lightning Bolt, all in the same exact card. That's its power level. Sting Blade, Gold Holofoil, Beam Blaster, Gold Holofoil. Oh, we have some 2 more Night Asps. Where aren't these in decks? I don't know. Oh, here's another Gold Spiker. Thought Eyes Wisdom. So, like, all those cards, each one of those gold cards, you need to open up several packs in order to get 1 gold card. So here's this like pay to win. Here's my Samus Nami deck. I wish I could just like have a mat to lay this all out for you, but we'll just do this really quick. So this is what a common looks like. It's not holofoil. It's just solid. It's still lenticular. It still has movement. We have. So this is my Red Samus deck. It's 3 Magma Slams, 3 Screech Whirlwinds, 3 Degenerations. These are fogs. They're opaque in the bottom and the sides. So if there's any writing on that part of the card, when you place this card on top, the writing is erased. So it removes all abilities from the card below it. Excuse my cell phone. We got 3 rare. If you just silver holofoils or rares, it doubles your energy gain each turn. You gain 2 instead of 1. 3 rare silverbacks. Heals for the medium. That's what the yellow bar means. And it has 400 defense in the medium and 400 more defense in the bottom. Gives you 800 blue defense if you put it on top of a hero. It also puts attacks into your hand. Uses ability once per turn. So it's kind of like a regrow effect. You have some Metanoids. These are hard to find. Any meta-charged cards, they're just low print run. It heals for 2 bars. We have some Metanoid Sprockets. Heals the bottom, plus it has a 500 defense in the mid. And you can play an attack equal to your maximum Kairu or energy, draw 2 cards. So here's the meat of the deck. Okay, here's Looker's Shadow, 550, chance to hit, hits the bottom. When it hits, you look at your opponent's hand and pick a card, and he casts that card. I'm not sure if your opponent hits himself with his own card. That seems like super overpowered. I hope to God it's like you get to use your opponent's card on you instead of your opponent's, and then it just hits the wrong spot. Like you hit a character that's already damaged. I hope that's what the card's written. Right now it's written as like twice as powerful as the 2nd most powerful card in the game, which is just super ridiculous. Here's Shadow Punch. So here's the Time Walk and Lightning Bolt on the same card. We have 3 of these. The most powerful green card in the game, the most Shadow Punch. Blue's Looker's Shadow, and red is Super Nami. It's all 3. Chance to hit is 1050, so it's going to hit. We have 3 of these, and you just put like 3 Looker's Shadows, 3 Shadow Punches, 2 Super Namis in the same deck. Do you know how hard it is to get 3 Super Namis? Like opening up 2 cases. So you saw the sheer number of gold cards. It took 11 boxes to get 3 Super Namis, because it's only 1 in every couple of packs you get a gold. The rest are silver. Let's see, 3 gold dredgers. Heals the top. It reanimates cards. We have 3 Samus Red elementals. heals the mid. You have Gold Machine Metanoid. Here's another one. 2 gold Bruticons. 500 defense, blue defense top, 500 red defense. Probably one of the highest defenses you can find. Bruticon, you can play up to 3 attacks in your discard pile without paying their costs. So if Bruticon finds a Super Nami in your discard pile, you get to play Super Namis every single turn until your opponent's dead. And then 3 gold Skrarknazes, heals mid, and your opponent can't draw more than 1 card per turn. So it stops certain decks. So this is the whole deck is a bunch of gold, gold, gold. So that's the kind of deck you can build if you just buy out like everything in the entire store. So in conclusion for this, I taught my daughter how to play Redakai. She built her whole deck out of commons. I got turn 1, I got a Bruticon out. Turn 2, I got to mill myself for 2, got a Super Nami in one of my decks. And then turn 4, you just recur Super Nami with Bruticon, killed one of her characters. Turn 5, kill one of her characters, recur Super Nami, cast it with Bruticon. Turn 6, kill one of her characters, recast it with Bruticon. So you just beat a 9-year-old at Redakai. Super easy, just like a 5-minute game. So that's what a pay-to-win game is. Magic the Gathering isn't like that. The mythic rares are just there, kind of, not really as you're not supposed to play as the play set for these, but for the rules to play a super rare is so complicated that we put the card in the super rare slot. It's for complexity purposes, is why there's super rares or even uncommons. It's not that you need to buy 3 of a super rare in order to win the game. It's not that you need to buy cases in order to win the game. And the world champion of Magi-Nation, who gave me stickers at Gen Con, I think those stickers were about 8 Animite each. Like, how much Animite would you need to collect that you would not use your Animite for your points for promo cards, and instead just buy like these worthless stickers and then have so many cards that you would just throw them away? So that's the other side of card games. Yeah, so Redakai I think just died because the finals in the tournament that I read about, that these gold cards aren't really meant to be played with each other. The makers of the game obviously did not play test the game with massive numbers of gold cards in every single deck. They kind of wanted to make it kind of like as Richard Garfield intended, as like 1993, kind of, play with a bunch of commons. Excuse me. Play with a bunch of commons. I remember like my first day of Magic the Gathering back in 1994, where we would just build one giant deck, and both me and my brother would draw from the same deck and play a game of Magic the Gathering that way, and one of us would still win. Both of us just top decking from the exact same deck. That's kind of how games could have been played, like intended. And when you throw in these, I'm reminded of a comic book by Karl Barks where Uncle Scrooge has a soap company and Donald Duck says, "I can do a soap company better." So he has his slogan, Donald Soap, any other? Nope, nope, nope. And Uncle Scrooge says, Uncle Scrooge is plain old soap. It cleans. And Uncle Donald, the entire story, I'll spoil it for you because it's like decades old. So Uncle Donald makes all these limited edition soaps with very low print runs, and people are arguing that their soaps are better. My soap has a very low print run. It's still in its original box, and they're like ready to have a fist fight over whose soaps are better. And then his warehouses are completely empty in the first couple of days or weeks or whatever. And Uncle Scrooge has to buy another warehouse because his soap isn't selling. And then when all the craze dies, when like the time passes, and people realize like this is an extraordinary popular delusion and the madness of crowds, they realize that Uncle Scrooge is plain old soap cleans, and that's what I think what Magic the Gathering is. So I hope you liked my introduction of Redakai. I hope you liked my joke about Magic's NPhard. You can't figure out how the game makes you win. You can build lots of different decks, and it's not really clear how one deck is better than the other. That's what's good about NPhard games. Thanks for watching.
Friends, Wall of Ice Cream has a Facebook page. Check it out and send your fan mail to Gmail or ideas for new content. And see my previous videos at Yudioshlet. Not Wall of Ice Cream yet. Getting to 100 subscribers and I'll change it to Wall of Ice Cream. Or you can come play with me on PlayStation. My username is Wall of Ice Cream, and see me on Twitch, Wall of Ice Cream. I might be there on Sundays. Thanks for watching.